Lord my rock.
Blessed be the 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 yummy orzo.
Blessed be the yummy orzo.
Blessed be the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts.
Blessed be the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts.
Blessed be the yummy, 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 yummy dinner.
Blessed be the yummy, 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 yummy dinner. Blessed be the groundhogs running around the yard.
Be the groundhogs running around the yard.
Blessed 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 be the new camera angle.
Be the new camera angle.
Blessed be the new camera angle.
Blessed be the new camera angle.
Blessed be the new really good camera angle.
Blessed be the new really good camera angle. Blessed be the silent day tomorrow.
Blessed be the silent day tomorrow.
Blessed be the deep silence of Friday.
Be the deep silence of
Blessed
Friday.
be the fact that we don't have to talk to anybody at all.
Blessed be the fact we don't have to talk to anybody at all.
Page 15. Page 15. This is one of the great themes of the Psalms, remembering the love of God in history, in actual deeds. Today's Thursday. We remember the love of Jesus. Have your washed feet asks us to do the same. I will remember the love of the Lord. I will remember the love of the Lord. And I will remember the love of the Lord. I will remember the love of the Lord. I will remember the love of the Lord. And I will remember the love of the Lord. I will remember the love of the Lord. I will remember the love of the Lord. I will remember the love of the Lord.
David Whyte, the poet, is the presenter. He's a young David Whyte. He's significantly older now. But in this video, he references a number of things, one of which is the beginning of Dante's Divine Comedy, where it begins in the middle of the road of my life. I found that the true way was wholly lost, was truly lost. And then it goes on, of course. And then he shares the poetry of David Wagoner, whose poem is entitled Lost. So we're going to get lost tonight. It's valuable, actually, to get lost. Have you ever felt lost? Truly lost?
What's the series?
Pardon?
And what's the series?
You watched? Oh, the same thing. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So he speaks about a common human experience, and I think what he's also speaking of is not only acknowledging and even honoring that experience, but also suggesting there are some pathways that, if we wish to follow, might help us in our lostness. So let's hear David.
Well, there's so many aspects of modern life that seem discordant. The rush on the freeways, the deterioration of our cities and our infrastructure, the decay around us in the environment and the pollution. And yet, in the middle of all of this, there's something awesome, awesomely beautiful.
Yes, life has always been difficult. It's now collectively difficult across the whole planet. And, we've been worried about nuclear Armageddon for the last 20 years. It's just passed away the last few years. But in some ways, in many third world cities, that Armageddon has already arrived. It's already there. Mm-hmm. And I think we all realize, in some ways, that the game is up as far as our delusions about how you can live your lives ignoring larger pictures. Because the larger picture is there for us, facing us all the time. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly what's happening in the corporate world now. There's a tremendous thirst. You can go to any company, it doesn't matter who it is. It can be AT&T, it can be Ford Motor Company, it can be Stanford University, any organization. People are desperate and they're dying on their feet in a way, and they want to know what happened to their lives and how they can move into something that's more satisfying and more real and more alive, above all, more alive. And this is where poetry is enormously successful, because when you're talking about a subject with a room full of engineers, say at Bell Labs or something, usually in a room, if you try and talk about very precious experiences, the more you talk about them, the further they go away. But with poetry, which is actually not about a subject, not about a quality or an experience, but is the experience itself, you can actually create that experience in the room you see. And so you can say, look, okay, your organization and you yourselves as work teams are asking to change. You're asking for creative change. This is not new. Human beings have been asking themselves this question for thousands of years, for millennia. Many of them have been good poets and have left poems that have outlived them. They're immortal poems. And they're immortal because they speak to every human being in every generation. So here are some of the steps along the path. And the amazing thing is that the steps are very precise. If you want to start on the path, for instance, you say, what does it really mean to have really radical change in an organization? Then you can recite Dante's line from the beginning of the Commedia, which is nel mezzo del cammin di nostra vita mi ritrovai per una scura selva. In the middle of the road of my life, I awoke in a dark wood where the true way was wholly lost. In the middle of the road of my life, I awoke in a dark wood where the true way was wholly lost. How do you know that you're on your path? Because it disappears. That's how you know. How do you know that you're really doing something radical? Because you can't see where you're going. That's how you know. But everything you have lent on for your identity has gone. And so you are going to enter the black contemplative splendors of self-doubt at the same time as you're setting out on this radical new path. And then, you see, if you can put this across, people suddenly say, wow, amazing, that's my life, there's something astonishing about mine.
You're suggesting that Dante provides a roadmap for us in some sense.
It certainly does, yes, in many stages of the way. I mean, the Commedia, it was called the Divine Commedia because it is absolutely an astonishing roadmap of life. But many other poets have left footprints in the snow that you could follow.
I know one book of poetry describes it as the poets as the technicians of the sacred.
Yes, that's right, that's right. And for instance, that first stage of entering the dark wood, there's a marvelous poem by David Wagner, as chair of poetry at the University of Washington, with a poem called Lost. And it's a teaching story from the Northwest Indian teaching tradition. It was a story that would be told to a young boy or girl that would ask the question, what do I do when I'm lost in the forest? See, this was a life or death question in the climax cedar forests of the Northwest. 150 foot high, you walk into them just 100 yards, you can't see any of the four cardinal directions. So you need to know how you know where you are. Well, but this is an equally true question for a middle manager in an organization, in a large organization, or for a street kid in Philadelphia. What do I do when I'm lost in the city? What do I do when I'm lost in the organization? Here's the answer that the elder gives. You can feel from this how precise the teaching is. You know, we often feel we're not going to go into these areas of the psyche because it's all wet and woolly in there, and besides you need to hold the hand of a trained psychologist or because of lawsuits, whatever. But actually poetry shows how incredibly precise it is in there, and that there's an equally clear bottom line, but the rules are very different, and the rules are much more movable, and the whole world is much more dynamic. And this is what the elder is telling to this young boy or girl who asks the question, what do I do when I'm lost in the forest? The elder says, stand still. The trees ahead and bushes beside you are not lost. Stand still. What do I do when I'm lost in the forest? Stand still. The trees ahead and bushes beside you are not lost. Wherever you are is called here, and you must treat it as a powerful stranger, must ask permission to know it and be known. Listen, the forest breathes. It whispers, I have made this place around you. If you leave it, you may come back again, saying, here. No two trees are the same to raven. No two branches are the same to wren. If what a tree or a branch does is lost on you, then you are surely lost. Stand still. The forest knows where you are. The forest knows where you are. Stand still. The forest knows where you are. You must let it find you. You must let it find you. See, what's astonishing about that poem is you can say, there are three things in this poem, you see, that are absolutely clear. First of all, the elder says, you cannot sleepwalk your way into your destiny. You must wake up and pay attention. Stand still. The trees ahead and bushes beside you are not lost. You must pay attention. That means paying attention to the shadows of your existence too. You must pay attention to everything you've given away in order to make yourself safe in your position at work. All the games you play in order to remain safe and untouched, as well as your creative gifts too. You must pay attention to those also. Second stage is that in this teaching from the elder is this incredible feeling of silence. That unless you have this silence in your life, and you feel the silence in the poem, where he says, if you leave it, you may come back again saying, here, no two trees are the same to raven, no two branches are the same to wren. If what a tree or a branch does is lost on you, then you are surely lost. You feel the silence there? You're almost under that cedar canopy there. And I think what the elder is saying there is that if you pay real attention, unless you have silence, an ability for silence in your body to do that, then you will get too frightened. Because all the voices inside you will drown out any real change. You have 100 reasons not to make any real change, you see. And you've got all the voices and all the reasons not to do it. And so the ability for profound silence is being called on here. And then that attention can flower into something else. Because you really don't know what your grief is. If you do feel grief about your workplace, you really don't know what's underneath that grief until you fall into it.
The poem seems to be attempting to awaken a kind of intuitive sense.
That's right. And then this amazing last line, the forest knows where you are. You must let it find you. This is astonishing because, in the Zen tradition they say, if you go out and confirm the 10,000 things, this is delusion. If you go out and confirm the 10,000 things, this is delusion. If the 10,000 things come and confirm you, this is enlightenment. See, the Salish elders in the Northwest were saying the same thing. The forest knows where you are, you must let it find you.
Any response to David White?
I could listen to him all day.
Well, you can tomorrow.
This, the way he speaks poetry, that sense of saying something twice, even in the middle of the sentence, and coming back to it, it paints a picture.
It's hard to paint a picture with just one brushstroke, isn't it? Sure, you have to make another one and another one.
Well,
So why does he speak things more than once? Any thoughts? Why the repetition?
Takes a few times before you actually hear it.
Right. We've seen this video, those of us in the morning session, this morning. I thought, should I show it again? They've already seen it. And I remembered, wait a minute, we probably did see it, but did we see it?
Yeah.
We heard it, but how much of it did we hear and remember? So it's
and
worth
you sent
hearing
it
again.
to us to watch,
Yeah.
which I did.
Any other thoughts on the content maybe, of what was said?
I really like the last line. When I go out with my camera, that's kind of how it works. You don't look for things, you let them find you. And suddenly, it knows you, because when they find you, they don't run away right away, like if you're looking for them. It actually seems to work that way.
I appreciate him identifying the difference between silence and profound silence. Like how you said.
Yeah. And notice how we said it, Michael. He said, a profound silence in your body. Any other thoughts?
He was sad. He had passed all this on, as it wasn't just for spiritually minded or people that were in one condition or another condition. He's talking about businesses, corporate, being lost right in the middle of everything.
So, what does the poem, the poet, say? What is the poet's advice when we get lost? What's the first thing it says to do? Enter stillness. Be still. What's the second thing?
Listen.
Be still and listen in the silence. Yeah, but listen, exactly. So enter the stillness, listen in the silence. And what's the third thing? We could say, pay attention. Over and over again, it says, pay attention. So, out of the stillness, in the silence, we're listening and we're paying attention when you walk in the forest. And I think there's another thing it says. It's not quite said explicitly, but in a poetic way, it's clearly implied. Did you catch it at the end?
Wherever you are, you're here.
Right. How does that translate into what to do?
Stand still. It comes
That's the
right
first
back
thing,
to-
right?
No, it comes,
Okay.
right.
So it's something in addition. The additional thing, I believe, is at the very end when he says, and I can't remember the exact words, but the forest knows, what was the forest know? Where you are.
It's the forest knows. Yeah, where you are, it's not what's lost, and the forest isn't what's
Right.
lost.
The forest knows where you are, and then he says to do something, doesn't he?
Let it find you.
What is it?
Let it find you.
Let it find you. There's a trust implied there, right? Like as you say to him, you go into the forest and you let it find you. There's a trust that something is going to find you.
Yeah.
Right? And no matter what we think, whether it's God or the universe or whatever, the spirit, the nature, there needs to be, according to the poet, a trust that you will be found. Does that make sense?
I think in that more metaphysical sense, the forest is the problem. And if you're present with it in silence, you let the answer find you.
There you go.
Just looking without thought until it finds you. Something like that.
So David Whyte is a fine poet. He's also a fine thinker. And he's also reflecting, I think, profound human experience. So when we're lost, and we will be from time to time, for me it's about every 7 years. That's when I typically need to see a therapist, every 7 years. I'm about to. But the advice the poet gives is very wise. When we're lost, be still, stand still, listen in the silence. Pay attention to what's happening within, without, and then trust that you'll be found. It's beautiful advice, isn't it? And it's really lovely. So, we'll close with a song.
of the ocean. I am the salmon swimming in the river. I am the salmon swimming in the river. I am the eagle soaring in the sky. I am the eagle soaring in the sky. I am the teardrop of the sun. 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 Sometimes we sing songs without words. I'll sing a sigh to you and sigh right back. Your turn. We're singing about transformation, change, letting go what needs to be let go of, embracing what needs to be embraced.
close of this day, an ancient Irish text. Who are we? May we stand still